talented person, there's certain things you're really good at, and then there's certain things that just come natural to you, right? Like we've talked before off camera about how certain pool players could play with a broomstick, right? Where some people they might have to work at it a lot harder, to say the least. So what came easier or more natural to you? The music, the magic, or the pool? Or the cube building?
Okay. I actually, that's an important question. You know what came most naturally to me? Nothing.
Okay.
I don't really feel like I'm a particularly talented person. I think probably my best talent is I learned how to learn. So I've done a lot of things at a high level because I'd learned how to get better. And probably the most important thing is I've been absolutely willing to show my ass and look like an idiot. And you have to be willing to do that. You got to be willing to get up on stage and fail in front of everybody. And I've done that. I've done it in cue making. I've done it in pool. I've done it in everything. You know, there's always an argument, discussion about great players, great pool players. Most of them, I think you can always see it in the first couple of years that they play. 2 years into it, you can see it. They're going to be great. They've just progressed way too fast. Things have come easy for them, and they just reek with talent. I was not that person. I had to work at it for everything I had gotten, you know, and the cue making, I had to work at it. The everything. I think I just learned how to learn, you know. And like maybe I should say, I'm willing to just look like an idiot.
Well, you mentioned like with the magic, right? Once you had access to the information,
Right.
you would just absorb the information, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's something that I thought a lot about is maybe getting lucky to be around the real work. And then you can absorb it. Maybe you just get lucky to be around the real stuff, or maybe I've developed a sense of knowing when I'm around the real thing.
I always tell people, and you've heard this before because it's pretty cliched, right? And I believe you would agree with me on this, that we are, in fact, the exact divided sum of the people that we choose to closely surround ourselves by, right? And so you're a product of your environment, right? You learn, you earned. But the thing is that and they also say that your network equals your net worth. Or if you're the smartest person in the room, chances are you're in the wrong room, right? You've been fortunate to be in the room and in the presence with greatness, and then you became greatness. So that's got to have something in direct correlation with each other.
I learned how to learn, you know, I learned how to sort out the stuff that is important and how to bear down on things that are important and just do them just incessantly until you get it down,
Yeah.
you know.
So the way that you had access to the information with the magic, when it came to the music, how did you begin to really progress in the music? Because that's something you could read all the books in the world, but you got to play that instrument, just like you got to be behind that lame okay, right?
I'm a drummer and a singer.
Yeah.
So as a drummer, like I said, Carmen got me up playing immediately.
Right
It's
on.
like, we're not going to let you sit and spend 2 years practicing paradiddles and decide, you know, no, we're here to make music, get up and play. And you got the balls to get up in front of a big audience and try, you know, you're going to learn way more on the spot internally and handling your nerves and all those things. You're going to learn way more just getting up and doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's the big element is just put yourself on stage. Like I say, I was 24, 25 years old and I wanted to get in the commentary box. I just get in and try and just do the best you can. And you're going to learn a lot. Your mind is real sharp when the pressure's on. You know, that's why people say in order to learn to play pool, you got to gamble. Well, they're probably right. You got to play under pressure. Now, there's all different kinds of ways to play under pressure. We've all been in situations where we're playing against a friend of ours where the pride means everything and you just dog your brains out because you cannot stand the idea of losing to your buddy.
That's right.
You know, or the worst pressure in the world is humiliation, is being embarrassed, being in front of people and whatever. That's why everybody's afraid of public speaking and stuff. That's the worst pressure, is feeling like you're going to be humiliated. You got to put that aside and get up and try and just lick your wounds and get back on the horse.
That's a good word,